Swiggity sorty, let's get that booty.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Cogcast. And if you follow me on Twitter, you would know that yes, I do live in the deep south, and yes, we are being hit with the ice storm. Texas is getting the worst of it. My city's getting hit pretty hard. Our main water line broke, and there's low pressure water citywide. And this is the most snow that we've seen in years, decades even. We haven't seen snow like this since 84 ice storm. Not 84, 94. The ice storm in 94. But it's ridiculous. It's like basically it's freezing. Like literally right now I'm freezing. And it's cold. And all of our water is contaminated, so we have to boil it, even if we do choose to use said water that could freeze over, so we have to let the water run all night, and they still plan to price gouge everybody on the gas bill, but hopefully they will change their minds. We pray and hope. Alright, but moving on, let's get right into it and let's knock this out. Let's get into the news, and hopefully things will get back on track. We still got things in the pipeline for y'all, and we don't mean nothing is gonna stop this show. All right, nothing is gonna stop me from giving y'all content. All right, nothing. All right, so. The only thing I played this week was about 2 hours, maybe 3 of the Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I can't really say much about it yet, hadn't played enough. And the only other thing that I have been playing is a little bit of Half-Life 2 here and there. But just like casually doing it to beat the game. I don't want to like dive deep or dissect it or anything or try to write a review, because that game's been reviewed to death, and if I do anything on it to make it into content, I'll just literally just record me talking about it. So yeah, but let's jump right on into the news and make sure that we can keep up with what's been going on, because right now, first thing on the docket, as a matter of fact, Valheim, bro. It's been everywhere. I've been seeing people recommending playing it and talking about it, giving it high praise, tweeting about it, all of this, and it's dope looking. I mean, kinda, but I just know it ain't my cup of tea. Kind of like Minecraft. But I'll be willing to give it a shot. I mean, just to see what all the hoopla is about. But yeah, turns out that first thing on the docket over on PCGamer.com, that the co-op survival game Valheim sells 1 million copies in a week. So it's been going crazy, bro. Like it's dumb popular. It's got the popularity that Among Us had, you know. Well, let's not say had, because Among Us is still somewhat popping, and it's the game that keeps on giving. It's hard to run out of content for the game. So I'm gonna say it's got the publicity that Fall Guys had. Yeah, now that's a dead game. Alright, so anyway, moving on. Next on the docket at Polygon. I ain't mean to rhyme it, but we on. Tales from the Borderlands returns to digital storefronts in February, and I put this here just to let y'all know, okay, you need to play it. If you hadn't played any of the Telltale games, you need to play this one. If you have played the Telltale games, but you haven't played Tales from the Borderlands, you need to play this one. It's hilarious. It's a great story. It's enjoyable. The characters are great. The female characters are some of the strongest characters. It's some of the best stuff you could ever watch, and it adds into the lore of Borderlands. Exclusive written story of lore that ties into Borderlands that's not explained in the Borderlands. So yeah, check it out. Next, over on Eurogamer, Bloodborne modder released the 60 FPS patch. I'm sure I've given you all plenty of updates about Lance McDonald by now, and he has threatened to release this patch, but he was going to withhold it so that they could do so for the people and make a better PS5 edition of Bloodborne. But I guess it seems that FromSoft either did not have the time, money, or manpower, or they just chose not to deliver. So he decided to go ahead and release said patch. The 60 FPS patch is capable of 60 frames per second consistently, according to them, from 720p, 900, and 1080p. So there we have that. Hopefully we will get some more PlayStation exclusives on PC in the future like they planned, because there are some things that are just insane, and we got to talk about it, which is one of the things on the docket we will get into, and I'm gonna save it for last. So I'm pretty sure some of y'all might know what we're talking about, but for now, what we're gonna talk about is Black Myth Wukong. It is a new trailer dropped on the 8th for Black Myth Wukong. It looks great. Souls-like combat with a little bit more of a character action, flair to it. Abilities. Seems to be a single player capable narrative driven game, which I like the idea. It feels like 2 steps away from Neo and 1 step away from Dark Souls, and I like that. Just by watching the gameplay, what it feels like. If I were to imagine, I'd have to actually play it to feel it. The timing, frame timings, openings and whatnot. I'd have to feel those things. But as of now, what I see, that's the vibe I'm getting. 2 steps from Neo, 1 step from Dark Souls. I like that. I should judge things by that more often. Anywho, check out the trailer. It's actually pretty dope, and you might like it if those genres or types of games fall under your preference. Anyway, moving on. CD Projekt Red. It's been pretty ugly on the hacker side of things because apparently their source code has been auctioned off and it's available to a lot of people now. It's already been sold, and I don't know if it's all been leaked just yet, but the only thing that we've seen in the leak so far was the Gwent game source code. But honestly, Gwent is not that big of a leak, and we would have to see something on Cyberpunk or The Witcher 3 before anybody surfaces something that's useful or great or interesting. Otherwise, there's just been money exchange. That's all we can say in this to report on at this time, as far as I know. I tried to read more into it, haven't seen anything else come out. So maybe they're at work on whoever's hands has that source code. Let's just hope it's not anything that can harm the company. Let's just hope that. Anywho, next thing on the docket is Dying Light's developer Techland was rumored to be sold to another publisher for a while, and their community manager decided to step on up and make a public announcement on Twitter stating that this is not true and it was just a rumor and Techland is still independent studio. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Moving on, we'll just have to wait for Dying Light 2. Hopefully it doesn't end up like another article I saw that said that it could become Dead Island 2, which is a game that was like hella delayed, almost forgotten, etc., etc. Just look into it if you don't know about what happened to Dying Light 2. And yeah. So next on the docket over at GameDebate.com, that's Game-Debate, mesh shaders can boost FPS on current graphics cards by up to a massive 1800%. 1800% because of mesh shaders. Mesh shaders apparently is some type of new DirectX plugin or some type of utilization that I guess lowers the workload of shaders on textures and everything. So apparently it's just boosts the performance of current AMD 6000, RX 6000 series, and RTX 30 series cards. But it's also capable, the feature will be available for as low as the GTX 1650 Super. Therefore, everything above that, going from the 20 series, the 16 series, the 20 series, and the 30 series, should have this included with it, as well as listed that the RX 6800 XT being available for these for this mesh shader capability, which is pretty damn dope, and it's supposed to be a part of DirectX 12. So I can't wait to see how this comes into fruition, because the only reason that we're not using this is because game developers don't utilize it. So yeah, if there's no drawbacks, then please, because there shouldn't be drawbacks. You feel it sounds too good to be true, but I would love to see. There shouldn't be any drawbacks though, so let's keep it kicking. And next on the docket, TechSpot. TechSpot.com, article by Cal Jeffrey. Scalpers say the press treats them unfairly. They are a valuable industry. Just to sum it up, he's basically just trying to say that he is performing usual retail practices by purchasing product and then marking up the price in order to make a profit, as would say any other grocery store would do, or clothing store would, like say buy low and then sell for profit. And that's not it, because he's comparing buying things at full price and then double to tripling the price to buying wholesale and then just profiting enough to keep the business lights on. It's not the same, and it is exploitation, and you cannot justify it, and you sound like a dumbass, and you need to shut the fuck up. People just be wanting PlayStation 5s. It's a whole different ball game. And I know it's women out there who's completely, I won't say ignorant. I'd rather pronounce it as ignorant. They're more ignorant to how crucial the gaming industry has become, because in this day and age, let's say kids of all genders and races when it came to being social growing up, you went outside to play, you rode bikes, you did all these things, etc., played sports, all this and that. Nowadays, if you want people to get along and play with their friends, you got to turn the internet on and give them a game console. It's just plain and simple. It's very simple. So I have no idea how you can justify, or not justify, excuse me, how you can make such a thing seem trivial, try to be passe and blasé about it. But this is actually a huge deal. There are people who not only need these items for work because they work in the games industry, whether it's on the inside of the industry itself or a part of the press, YouTubers, streamers, etc. This product needs to be available to everybody. And what you're doing, sir, is one of those things that's legal but shouldn't be. So honestly, to be fair, whoever gave this statement to them, this dude, he should really just shut up, because it's paramount that what you're doing puts so many people at a disadvantage that you should be like super quiet and humble and just get your bag. But now that you've said this, you're angering the wrong people. You've already angered many people, but now you're going to anger the wrong people because you're stepping on other people's money and potential to make this cash. Because the thing about consoles is that they're investments in the consumer buying the games themselves down the line. It's a commitment to that brand and the games that they can guarantee their developers will be, available to the public. I don't have to say much more. I really hope I'm not getting sick, though. I feel it coming. Anyway, I saved the best for last. Let's talk about it. Kingdom Hearts is coming to PC as an Epic Store exclusive. So that will include the 1.5 and 2.5 remix collection, the 2.8 remix collection, and Kingdom Hearts 3 and Melody of Memories, the latest Kingdom Hearts that was released for the Nintendo Switch and other platforms. So here we have it, y'all. Kingdom Hearts has crossed over to PC. We have all of these games available now, but the suck part kinda is the Epic Game Store DLC. But to be honest with you, I've played these Kingdom Hearts games to death ad nauseum over and over again. So honestly, if I do play it again, it's gonna be for stream and or some way with mods installed, to be honest. And to be perfectly more honest with you, I really don't want to play it other than the mods, because I've already purchased these Kingdom Hearts games like more than 5 times a piece and replayed them over. I've played Dream Drop Distance on my 3DS and my PlayStation. Was it 4? Yeah, 4. I played it on my PS4 and my 3DS. I don't want to play Dream Drop Distance anymore. It doesn't have that much replay value, and it ain't that great. It was like, alright, it was fun for a moment because it was flow motion, but then you could break the game with flow motion, so there was no real combat system, and it was still going in a direction that I don't like Kingdom Hearts to go into. This is one of the reasons 3 felt lackluster, and it couldn't really satisfy both people who like Kingdom Hearts 2 combat and Bird by Sleep Onward combat. It had to try to at least satisfy both of them. It couldn't. It made them go, it's like saying it's like eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's like, yeah, you're not completely satisfied, but you don't want to say you didn't enjoy the sandwich. That was a terrible analogy, but I hope it made sense. Okay, what I'm saying here is I don't want to buy another Kingdom Hearts unless it is a sequel. I have purchased the game too many times, and my cousin actually gave me Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was debating on actually go ahead and buying the Remind DLC, but maybe we'll get around to it. I'm not sure, but I am fucking tired of buying these games. I have Kingdom Hearts 3 right here in front of me in a PlayStation case, so I don't want to do that. But anywho's, yeah, that's the thing. I'm kind of excited about that. So we might see the modded community put some real, crazy shit in there. Marvel Comics, some Star Wars. You'll never know. So keep your heads up. Keep on the lookout. And also, one thing we want to add on to, it might not be in the docket, but just to let you guys know before we head out, that as of today, there has been announced a Nintendo Direct that's going to be 50 minutes long. All right, it's been so long since there's been a Nintendo Direct, not a mini Direct, not a developer Direct, none of that other side shit, no indie world shit, none of that. It's an actual Nintendo Direct, and it looks like we might get some news, hopefully, of the shit that we've been looking forward to. Everybody's got their fingers crossed. People are hype. I'm kind of hype. Okay, so keep that in mind, and let's ride this thing to the moon. Yeah, so don't forget to go ahead and look into the comments. Go ahead and leave one for me to give me some feedback about some things that you would like to see on the channel, some changes, things you do like, things you don't like. Do you hate my voice? Am I enough of a analytical enough guy who could report on news? Am I informative enough? I hope I am. I really worry about these things too much, but otherwise, just follow me on Twitch to catch the streams. I really want to finish Dandara, and if you've noticed, we have moved the anime reviews. They are coming. They will not be a part of the podcast anymore, and we are changing up the format so we can double up on the content per week. Get ready. Now, that being said, it's time for the Ninja Smoke. So, let's go. And always remember the channel motto, everybody. Intentions are the most important. Actions ain't nothing but loud, and words don't mean a damn thing. You all take care of yourselves out there while I trip over my tongue and barely get my words out. And give me the best wishes that you have in prayers, because it's pretty bad out here, okay? Like, it's cold as hell. And like, all I am is cold and sore muscles from helping people from getting stuck, neighbors getting stuck in the snow and in the ice. So everywhere in the South, we're not used to this. It hasn't been this cold in decades, and we barely know what to do about it, and there is no preparation. So please, be considerate, be safe if you are in the South with me, and best of luck to you all. Peace.
Taking fire.
Woo! Get the fuck out.
Down another target.
Oh! Oh my